You do not need a trust fund or a sugar daddy to look expensive. Today, I'm showing you the best Amazon designer finds that are given Hermes, Dior, Bottega, and Manolo energy, all under $100. And if you think that's too good to be true, you're in for a rude awakening. The first item I have to share with you guys is the Hermes Kelly straw bag. This one is literally a stunner because it is not one you see very common, making this ultra rare. Now, because Hermes bags are insanely expensive, you know this one is going to be an insane deal. The most structured of the structured bags I think I've ever shown on my channel. And of course it has the locks in the front so you can keep them open, you can keep them shut. I don't know about you, but I just find it a lot easier to get in these types of bags, leaving it open. If you're trying to close it, it definitely looks a bit more sophisticated and on brand with Hermes, but it also can be quite annoying. So leave that up to personal choices. It has this little dog tag flap, and this one is a bit different than normal bags because it's clasp open with, of course, as always, a crossbody bag. Sometimes it's very cute to just dangle it on your wrist and hold it like a traditional purse. Other times you get very bored of that. You're carrying other things like an ice cream, your phone, insert object here, and you don't want to deal with that. You want to go hands-free. This little bag manages to have a lot of space on the inside. However, I will warn you, it does not have any zipper pockets on the inside, so everything is going to just get locked up, shut in and of itself with this bag. If you know anything about Hermes, you know for a fact that in order to get any bag at all from the Hermes store, you have to build a relationship with your sales associate person of contact, which if you're like me, I can get a little bit shy about these things. Usually when I go into a store, I just want to get what I want and not really have to deal with it. So in order to avoid small talk and years-long building of relationships, you can snag this baby up for $30. $30 is just absolutely out of this world when you compare it to the cost originally at $30,000. This is definitely one of those bangers of the bunch because this one is 99.9% off retail. There are quite a few designers making shoes like this fall winter season, so it's hard to identify exactly which one this designer is coming from, but I'm gonna say these kitten heels are from Max Mara, but keep in mind that Prada has their own variations, Acne Studios does, and many other brands. The Max Mara ones were just more on point, so that is where we get these Max Mara mule kitten heels. And because I'm somewhat indecisive when it comes to shopping purchases, I did end up buying both the black leather and the satin brown. Both are very appropriate for the fall winter season. I don't know about you, but I love wearing heels. I'm just not up for 4-inch stilettos. What is very distinctive about these kitten heels, I should probably just utilize one instead of both, is it has this elongated toe shaft. Now, as you know, most heels go a lot further. This one extends backwards, so it is a little bit more secure. It's more functional. It's not so flimsy as like a sandal kitten heel is. It also has a very skinny stiletto-like heel. Really like that we're going back to classic styles because if you have remembered or been in the shoe biz, keeping your eyes on things, we have had some really wonky heels going around. So glad we're back to the classics. Minimalistic perfection. Sleek heel, easy slip on, very comfortable, but they originate at $765. Now, not necessarily money poorly spent, just still, you know, a lot of money for shoes. These can elevate any of your basic jeans and tees and sweater combos without a second thought. Again, we're talking about a 2-inch heel versus a 4-inch. For $49, you can get an amazing pair of shoes for a fraction of the cost. I did have a bag that did not come in time that I really wanted to share with you, but you're gonna have to stay tuned for the next video because apparently the Amazon delivery delivery system was a little out of touch with their estimated delivery time, and it's arriving tomorrow, but it will be in the next video. So just, you know, keep your eyes out for that. Nonetheless, we still have another handbag that is fit and fancy and gives old money vibes without obviously having to spend your trust fund inheritance or any inheritance you may have. That's where we get the Bottega Wallace bag. Okay, I should have zipped this before presenting it to you. The Bottega Wallace bag. As you can see, this has the very traditional, very state-worthy woven fronts of any Bottega handbag and or accessory. It does have a very soft and nice feel to it, while on the back we have a zipper, so you know, you can throw your keys in there, your lip gloss. I don't know what you guys put in your mini pouches in your bags, but you have room to do so. Same soft woven detail, same under the arm silhouette, but you can also adjust it quite a bit with this length. You simply pop the leather out of the socket and then punch it back into whatever hole you want, so you can make this fully customizable depending how you like your bags, because isn't it very annoying at times when you have a bag and there's only one length to it, and let's say hypothetically, like I was doing last weekend, you have a chunky jacket on and the bag just does not fit over the shoulder, and then it's awkward, and then you have to go around carrying your bag like this and you really don't want to. Anyway, Bottega usually scares quite a few of you because of their high price tags, much like Hermes, but this one retails at $2,600. However, we're not paying that cost. We are paying $38, meaning you can buy multiple colors and not feel any kind of shame or embarrassment about it, and you certainly do not need to tell your husband or partner about it either. We have a new chick on the block. Usually I always try to find some clothing item in these videos, but at times it can be very hard because, I don't know, it just is. But lo and behold, we actually have a pajama item from a very hot brand that you guys all like, which is Dior. The Dior pajamas absolutely mimic the Dior variations, and I was shocked and almost sickened to find that the top alone is $2,900. You guys, that's insane. If you're gonna spend nearly $3,000 on an item, it better be a faux fur jacket, a piece of jewelry that you're never going to get sick of, or a handbag, a pajama top that your skincare is gonna get on, your dog hair might get on, late night raids to the fridge. No. Because you also would be spending for the pants, although this makes no sense because you think the pants have more fabric, they would cost more money, but that's not how things work in the designer universe. $2,150. Such a big chunk of change, or should I say wad of money. That means collectively as a set, because most of us buy things as a set when it comes to pajamas, you're spending over $5,500. Now, unless you're a celebrity and someone's doing like an at-home vlog and skincare routine with you, there's just no common reason why you would ever spend that kind of money on pajamas. Anyway, you can get these over 99% off when you buy these for $26. I mean, don't understand the reason to pay that much for something you're sleeping in and perhaps sweating in. Now, in the world of handbags, sometimes it's just really nice to have an actual tote bag. If you're carrying a lot of junk around, and by junk, I mean necessities, not actual junk, like McDonald's wrappers, it is so important to have a functioning tote. Let me introduce to you this Burberry tote bag. It can hold so much in here, including so much weight. I put a drain declogger detergent in here. I put 2 pairs of shoes, 5 items of makeup. I don't need to go through the rest. Let me just say this was very sturdy and heavy lifting. Obviously, it has the traditional Burberry check print and these lovely black leather straps. This is going to be great for year round for sporting all your goods wherever you're going. It comes together in this lovely zipper clasp. still have stuff in here, a zipper here, and then it has inserts where you can slot things in as well. While Burberry isn't the most expensive designer out there, it's still expensive, guys. Like, there's no ignoring the fact of that. I say that because actually the value of Burberry and their products themselves have been on the increase. In order to avoid that, if you're buying these at retail or if you want, you know, this Amazon version of it, you're going to save a lot of money in the neutral family, so it's going to match with so many items that you already have. Would avoid, if you're going to sport this with your clothing, your wardrobe, stick to mainly solids. You don't want to be wearing paisley, throwing this next to it. It's going to clash way too much. Either way, absolutely fantastic handbag with the very classic English sophistication of Burberry tied to it. Wanted to do a quick little break here and let you guys know that I am very proactively adding stuff on my Amazon storefront in terms of the Amazon designer dupes, the shoes, the jewelry, yada, yada, yada. I have several different lists going. So if you do not want to wait for a future video and you're eager to see what new things are on the Amazon inventory, go to my Amazon storefront, shop things, look at things, gives you first and priority access. As you know, things can go very fast. Personally, have never owned a pair of Manolos in my life. When I think of Manolos, I think of Sex and the City. Let me know if you guys have your own pair and how you feel about them, if they were a great purchase or you highly regret them. Going on with the kitten heel trend with these Manolo suede kitten heels. Pointed toe is especially on trend this fall winter season. Even added a buckle. If you guys are curious about other fashion trends, you can check out my fashion trend video. But either way, you're getting on the trend right away, right here. Pointed toe is also going to be classic throughout the years. Suede variety is especially luxe looking. You always need texture in the things you're wearing. Have a very cushiony heel. As I push it, my fingers are sinking quite a bit into that. These retail for $915, which is just absolutely bananas because, as you know, shoes can get scuffed, and while they're not impossible to clean, they're just not fun to clean. You don't want to have to clean your shoes. And with these, get a spoolie, get something with some to it. You want your shoes looking pristine. You can get these for $39. So if you're indecisive on colors, as we usually are, you can get one for every season of the year. So you always have an easy to wear, lightweight, comfortable heel that is going to snatch your fits together. Gucci is one of those brands that does a fabulous job at making costume jewelry. They go above and beyond. It's definitely part of their branding. Are really works of art. I'm going to save you hundreds of dollars on these because these are a pair of embellished Gucci drop earrings. Absolutely gorgeous embellishment, flower, Gucci-like design while also having the Gucci emblem at the top, giving dark fantasy, but also very regal looking. Earrings are some of the easiest way you can jazz up an outfit. I've got a basic cardigan on, also from Amazon, but if I were to switch around my earrings, which are coming up later, you could see how this really takes this outfit from day to night. Even if you wear costume jewelry only once in a while, these are only going to set you back $14, which is same as a couple Starbucks runs. Once more in the 90s at 97.5% off. You should always be able to enjoy a pair of earrings to fit whatever mood you're in. You guys are well aware of Hermes jewelry and specifically the bangles. Their metal bangles have been especially popular well over the years because they're such a good intro item into the Hermes universe. While still expensive, they work really great as a graduation gift, an anniversary gift, or you know, if you just don't want to spend $50,000 on a handbag. We have this bedazzled, crystallized, diamond Hermes chic H bracelet. If you could see the sparkle and shine on this lady, she is reflecting all the light coming into this room right now, and she's going to do the same on your wrist. Once more, if you don't have these, they are insanely easy to get on. All you do is open the clasp like that, put it on your arm, and snatch it. These could not be easier. If you have nails or if you don't have nails, you know how obnoxious and annoying it is to try to fight with any kind of clasp of any kind. When you can just smack it on like a slap bracelet, this makes life so much. And if you're going to buy any kind of jewelry, it might as well be something that doesn't give you a meltdown while putting it on. While we know bangles from Hermes are insanely expensive, the ones that have diamonds and or crystals on them are even more so. These come upwards of the same price as a Kelly or a Birkin bag, which does make sense as it's a piece of jewelry, but also I think any of us would rather have a bag for the same amount of money. That being said, the gold hardware on this is especially luxe and extravagant, perhaps more of an evening piece, but if you guys have that bougie personality to you, by all means, wear it non-stop. Get every last use out of it you possibly can. Maybe even take it to the grave with you. You can buy this on the fly for thousands cheaper and not have a heart attack over it. Following that, we also have another popular Hermes item, the Pop H earrings. These are so fun because not only are they just easy to get on and they're very simple when it comes to jewelry and putting some style in your ears, but they also come in a very wide array of colors. One of the most affordable pairs of jewelry out there. If you were to buy these at retail, you would be spending $540. And if you guys have watched any of my videos, you know my quiff with earrings. They fall out very easily. And wouldn't you be traumatized if you lost one of these on the street and no one was decent enough or kind enough to give you them back? Gone forever, and then what do you have to do? You have to buy a whole new set because you're not gonna go around with one H on your ear. Of course not. So getting these from Amazon is in fact going to save you 98.5%. And how sweet is that? Since we like matching sets, such as the Dior pajamas I previously showed you, we have the matching pop necklace. Similar to the earrings, you can certainly buy whatever color you want because you can get both. It's insanity, guys. Particularly popular because it's not a designer item that is in your face. It can be worn every day, it can be worn to the gym, it can be worn at night, it can be worn for any possible occasion you can imagine, other than, I guess, if you went to a spa and they asked you to completely declothe and you still had a necklace on. You get my point though. Originally priced at $510. Encourage you to test these out and buy the original should you care to. They're a complete no-brainer for every day, while also being incredibly lightweight. It is time for some sunglasses because no matter what season it is, where you are in the world, there's always an occasion to wear sunglasses because even if you're skiing in the slopes of Aspen, that sun gets really bright on those mountaintops. We have the Bottega Shield sunglasses. These retro aviator type of sunglasses have become really popular in recent years. We're going away from the classic, what's that movie with Tom Cruise? Top Gun type aviators and going for these ones that have a full frame on them. Also very subtle on their sides, similar to the originals, and look very sophisticated when they are on. If you had eye surgery and you really did not want people to be looking at your eye for whatever reason, maybe it's pink, maybe you literally have an eye patch, this can come in handy, although I don't think you're in that situation. These give instant celebrity energy with an Amazon price tag, oversized lens, and sleek frame without the designer markup. You are going to be so on trend and so fashionable, you're not gonna know what to do with yourself. Bottega, Bottega, Bottega. Well, they haven't quit because we have now the official elevated of those super duper popular teardrop earrings. They thankfully have come out with a tortoise style earring that has slightly an iridescent look to it. These are the perfect sister to the gold pair, which also being lightweight and giving major ear candy. Anything in the tortoiseshell look looks especially expensive, old money, been a pattern and design that has been around forever. Nonetheless, these are on the medium size, your middle of the road best friend. Unfortunately, these are even more insane because they retail at $1,400. And you thought Hermes was bad. Now, we all know it's great to look good, but it is also really good to smell good. If you guys are into perfume at all, you know some of them get very expensive. Now, one of the really expensive brands that people are constantly hyping about are the Kilian fragrances. There are many bestsellers, including the one called Angel's Share. Now, luckily for you, I have a dupe. Hamra Latafa perfume. This bottle is insanely gorgeous. I don't know if you guys are into bourbon or whiskey or anything like that. This looks like it belongs on a top shelf. It has really nice weight to it, beautiful crystal style glass, and smells too similar than Angel's Share. One is very spicy with notes of cinnamon, vanilla, and cognac that lasts hours. We're talking 8+ because it's an Arab fragrance, and well, that's just what they're known for. They're very good at their long-lasting scents. If you are into more of a woodsy scent, they have a wood version. If you're more into vanilla, they have a variation for vanilla lovers. And technically, I suppose it could be unisex. So if your partner or man in your life is coming after you in more than one way, you can also give him a spritz of this and see if he likes it. One of those sweet gourmand fragrances that is perfect for the colder months. If you have been eyeing my ears, and maybe you have, maybe you haven't, you have likely noticed these tiny itty bitty link-like hoops that are from David Yurman. Some of you guys have not bought anything from David Yurman. Some of you guys only buy things from David Yurman because David Yurman is highly reputable and also highly expensive. These are the perfect little hoops that will not get tangled in your hair. They're really good to layer if you have 2 hoops such as I do, or 3 or 4, or you know what, doesn't matter, I don't know how many you have, to add to your ear lineup. Make for a really great simplistic item you can add. Look super luxe and super minimal. If you're on the old money train and that I don't want too much attention, but I want people to think I spent a lot on my items, this is how you're gonna nail that look. These specific earrings are going to save you 99.2%. I have many more items coming in to share with you guys. Till then, make sure to watch my other videos to find some more amazing designer inspired finds. In the meantime, I'll see you next time. Bye!